Hi everybody, it's Kevin at Bear Creek. Real quick video for you today. We're going to be making sugar bricks. About a month ago on my hives, if you saw the video, I installed mountain camp on all my hives for the winter. And that's going great. We've had a little bit milder winter than expected, but not too terrible. The bees haven't been overly active, but active enough. When I checked on them 20 days after I put the mountain camp on, they had put a pretty good dent. Some of the colonies had put a pretty good dent in it. And they're probably good for a while yet, but I wanted to make up some emergency sugar bricks that I could install on an as-needed basis. I can make these things up. I can, throw them in a backpack, haul them out. If I'm in the snow and I can't get there by vehicle, I can at least trudge out into the field with, a dozen of them in my backpack and quick feed whatever hives are going to need it, and it'll get them through. I don't know the exact weight of these sugar bricks. Maybe we'll check it out when we're done here, but really quick for just throw them on there, and then you can kind of forget it. You're not in your hive for very long at all. Some of the things that we're going to need today for it, obviously you're going to need some sugar. I bought these. It was two 10-pound bags for $7.80 or $7.79, something like that. Which, anyways, it came out to about 37 cents a bag, or 37 cents a pound for the sugar, which was just, I can't beat that price. So I bought a couple 100 pounds of it because I am always going to need sugar even in the spring. Also going to need just a little bit of vinegar, apple cider vinegar. It'll help keep the sugar a little longer for you. And you're going to need a little bit of water. Now, for 10 pounds, I'm using roughly a cup of water. And I'll put a little bit of the vinegar. All I'm using for the vinegar is a capful. A tablespoonful, and that's plenty. But a cup of water should do it if you just want to get the sugar damp. You don't want to get it wet. The sugar will then dry out and become almost exactly like a brick. And I'll show you that in a second. But I also, last year, I went out and bought these. These were little Rubbermaid containers that I bought. And they hold, they're, you put your sandwiches or chips or whatever, your lunches or whatever. But I bought, I don't know, a dozen of them or something like that. And these make excellent molds for making sugar bricks. You can make them. Now, you don't need the full dozen. You can leave the sugar in here and put the lids on, and you're done. You can also, make up a 10-pound bag, let them dry until they're firm, pop them out, and then use this again and make some more out of another 10-pound bag. So they're absolutely reusable. Now I got a bunch of these. I also have a bunch of these style, and they're almost just like the Rubbermaid containers, except these came free. I buy my lunch meat, a pack of turkey or a pack of ham in these, and the container is free, so I just saved them all up, and I got a bunch of them, and they'll make great molds for doing the bees. And then you pop them out, throw them in a dishwasher, you're done, whatever. The biggest issue is, now this is your shim, your feeder shim that goes on your, let's say this one's for a nucleus colony, but you throw that on there. You don't want to have your sugar bricks any thicker than this, so your lid can fit on tight. If you got any irregularities on the top of your frames, you're going to have to scrape that off so that the sugar brick will sit, and then your lid can sit down flat on your hive. But So I cheaped out. I only went with 1.25 inches, and these 1.25 inches is actually roughly right about at this rim line. So I'm not going to fill these up fully. Now these ones here, I haven't really looked at it. I suppose I could look at it. And again, I'm going to have to, there's a little ridge line there. It's exactly the height of my, it's exactly the height of my shim. So this little rim here, so I can't fill these up fully. So keep that in mind whenever you make sugar bricks. You know, if your rim is thicker, obviously you can use a thicker sugar brick. So just like I said, keep that in mind. Okay. So we're also going to need a tub to put things in. I got this big tub. I actually make my pollen patties in this tub, and I'm going to do a video on that as well, upcoming. I don't really have a new way to make it, but I'm going to have a new way to store it that I'm going to show you. But I found that a wooden spoon to stir works a whole lot better than just about anything else. You know, if you use a metal spoon, your wife's metal spoon, you're going to be doing this, you're going to find that you're going to bend that spoon. So use this for scooping and ladling it into your molds, but use the wooden spoon to stir up the mixture. So what we're going to do, and like I said, you know, I use about a cup of water, and you know, if you need to get it a little bit more damp, you can add just a little bit of water at a time. So don't pour all your water in. You know, see what you got. If you only got 2 4-pound bags, you got 8-pound bag, obviously you want to cut this down a little bit. But let's dump this in there. A 10-pound bag. Okay. Now I have a, you know, instead of a tablespoon, I'm just going to use a capful of this in here. Okay. And that's all I'm going to need for that. Not much at all. Okay. So we can take the water, and I've got just a little bit. I've probably got a 1.25 cups in here. So I am not going to use it all. I'm just going to spread it in there, and then I'm just going to mix it up. And don't worry, you don't have to watch me, you know, mix all this up. I'll put it on speed. But this should be a 10-minute project, probably at most. Well, 10 minutes to mix it up, and then it'll take you a while. One of the things also that you're going to need, and I don't know what I did with it. Here. I just have a little piece of wood right here, and what I'm going to use that for is to tamp down the top to my level that I want, because a wooden spoon isn't going to cut it. So this will tamp it down so that it's nice and even on top. Now we'll weigh these at the end just to let you know how much we're putting on. And again, this is, you know, this is in case they well, if you put Mountain Camp on, it's emergency feed in case they ran out of that. But if you didn't put Mountain Camp on and you had enough honey on, but spring becomes a little long, these work great for setting on your hive. And just to get them over that little hump of some, so that before the nectar and pollen starts coming in from maybe the maple trees or whatever. Okay, that's pretty much it right there. That's the consistency you want, so that it'll just barely clump together. And honestly, even if it crumbles a little bit, that's okay. When you let these dry overnight, air dry, they'll become hard as bricks. So now let's take, okay. A couple scoops of that. I have my wooden dowel. It doesn't have to be perfect, but just so the highest points are not higher than your shim board. Let's see, maybe just a little bit more on here. And that's all there is to it. Okay? And we just keep going. Okay, so I got 3 of these made up real quick. As you saw, I'm going to grab a scale and we're going to check out how much these weigh. Okay. Let me take a look here. I'm going to put one on as a tare. Let it zero out. Take it off. And look at that, 16 ounces exactly. So these are about 1 pound a piece. Perfect. Okay. Also, don't forget, we are having a drawing at the end of January for a hive tool pouch. Giving one of these away to one of my my subscribers and my followers. So all you have to do to enter is I have a video. I will post a link to it. Well, actually, I won't post a link to it because this video will go on forever, and the contest ends on January 31st. But all you have to do is go on to my homepage channel. You'll see the video for giveaway, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed already, and make a comment in that video, and I'll do a random drawing on Groundhog Day to one lucky winner. So don't forget. Don't want to lose that hive tool. Okay, it's the next morning, probably about 15, 16 hours from when we did it yesterday afternoon. You probably, you should give it, the longer the better, obviously. 24 hours a week really doesn't matter. These will keep for till spring. And anyways, let's just take a quick look. These are really hard. We got our 5-frame nuke here.
all we do is take this off just like that. It's a mold now, solid mold, very hard. And we'll have our shim on here like so, and we'll just set this on there. We're making sure that, you know, our shim is above the sugar, which it is. So we made it the correct height, you know, the correct thickness, and then that way we can put, when we put our lid on, you know, we're good to go. Now I use flexible inner covers, and that'll help too with sealing all the drafts and whatnot. So that'll get them over a hump for a week or whatever. You know, if you've used a mountain camp or any kind of sugar in the past to give to your bees, you'll notice that they'll go right after it pretty fast, and you always have to wonder, you know, are they out of stores, or are they just going up there just to eat the sugar? And the truth of the matter is that you know, they don't see sugar as stores. They see sugar as you know, like a resource to be collected, and they will leave their stores alone to go after the sugar. Now, sugar is really good. They don't have to do a lot to go get it. Now it's sucrose, and they have to still break it down into glucose and fructose, but they will absorb the energy kind of pretty much directly, share it with other bees, whatnot. But still, what I'm saying is they will go after your sugar before they will actually go after your honey. So, you know, if you got plenty of honey stores, there really isn't any need. You know, you can always say, you know, just in case. And that's exactly what I did. I did it just in case. But what I really don't want them to do is go all the way up to the top on warm days, get this sugar, and then be unable to go back down to go get whatever honey is left. So always a danger. And some people don't put on their sugar mountain camp or whatever until, you know, they know their bees are kind of in dire straits, maybe the end of January or something like that. I had already had a couple hives that were starved out in December, so I just made a decision, since I'm not going to be able to get back to my hives until March, just due to their location. I can't drive out there. I have to trudge out through the snow in the fields, so it's a lot easier to put the mountain camp on them. You know, yes, they're going to be up in it, but hopefully I do have enough stores for them so that after they finished going through the mountain camp, they can go back down into their honey stores. One of the good things about this is that after they have consumed, or, you know, in the springtime, if they haven't consumed your sugar block like this, you know, this is very easy to remove, obviously, but you can take this, whatever sugar that you've made left over, and you can throw it in a bucket with water, and now you got sugar syrup for springtime. So it's very, very, very reusable item for you. So don't ever just take this, you know, off your hive and throw it away. Throw it in a bucket, and then you can use it for sugar syrup a little bit later. So that's it for today. Don't forget about the giveaway we're having till January 31st. Be sure to sign up for that. Subscribe to the channel. You like the video, give me a thumbs up. I hope you do. Till next time, just remember, all beekeeping is local. Take care.